All right, I'm now here with Outplayed, a.k.a. Louis Vuitton Don, and I want to start off by asking actually something that's not related to the draft thus far, but we talked about the fact that you are the top-ranked Blitz player in the world.
Yeah.
What made you decide to just grind Blitz and become the best Blitz player in the world?
Well, I just got some talents, just spent some money on some talents, just felt like splurging, and kind of coincidentally got some really good ones. Like I didn't know how good they actually were. So yeah, it's just a lot of fun to play Blitz with my brother and my friends because the state of 5v5 I haven't liked as much recently. So I still enjoy playing the game. So yeah, blitzing is it's perfect for me.
All right, and now that's another thing is your brother. Obviously, it's something that you have played with in Blitz, but you've also played with him competitively.
Yeah.
So what is it like to be playing a game at a competitive level with a sibling?
It's super fun. We get along really well for the most part. He thinks he's a little better than he is, but no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, he's a great player, so it's
Is that why you maintain that like 3-point lead over him in the Blitz just to keep him in his place?
Just a little bit higher. No, yeah, it's definitely just a lot of fun. It's a great way to pass the time.
All right, and now as far as this draft goes, you've got your first 2 picks out of the way. The first 2 rounds are done. How are you feeling about your team compared to everyone else's now that we've got most of a starting roster set up for all of you?
So I think Hammy's team is like the one that scares me the most because Hammy, Gaspy, and Starting are all like, I feel like they can just carry a game on their own. Just in mid, I think it'll be mid, bot, and top. So, I mean, that's kind of what scares me. But as far as my team, I know Kaz is one of the, best junglers, one of the top priority picks in this draft. And Pekko everyone knows Pekko, so he's annoying. So I just need to look to try to pick up a strong mid laner here. And there aren't that many left. So, I mean, I'm a little concerned, but we'll make it work.
All right, and now, obviously, you're one of the newer players to the pro scene, but you've been involved in Vainglory for a long time. What was that like when you first told family members, hey, this is something I want to be like, I actually want to try and go competitive with? What was that like in terms of like just the personal side of it?
Yeah, so my parents know that me and my brother have played this game for a while, and yeah, we just started, I guess, steadily getting better. We both were on Rogue for a little bit, but then that sort of fizzled out. But then, yeah, when I got the invitation to this, I was thrilled. It's a lot of fun. It's good to be here with all these players. They're all great people. So, yeah, I mean, my family, they're happy for me. I think they're watching me at home or something, hopefully. I don't know. But, yeah, it's definitely just been a good time all around.
All right. Well, we do have the 3rd round of the draft ready to go. And so we're going to send it back over to Joe and the rest of the team.
Thanks very much, guys. Yeah, we are still here at the desk. We're on round 3 of the draft already. It is flying by here today. Hammy is going to be on the clock. Now, one of your teammates, as they were locked in just now, actually put in Twitch chat, easy win. What do you make of that? Gaspy coming in confident.
Yeah, Gaspy is the best player, has the most knowledge, so obviously he's correct in saying that we're going to win. So I can't disagree with him. It's just big facts.
What makes him the best player?
He's obviously won 3 weeks of Fantasy All-Stars. I mean, you can't argue with that. That's like...
Would he clap you in any role?
Obviously.
Yeah.
Not even debatable. Like, it's just...
So if Gaspy were to ask to play mid for you guys, you'd say yes?
Yes.
Yeah, I think
anything he wants. I'll give him anything he wants, honestly.
whatever you want.
All right, that's good to hear. You've got less than a minute on the clock, Hammy, so if you're ready to lock in your 3rd pick, feel free.
Yeah, so like 100%, I have to pick a support here, so I'm actually going to take Papa John for jungle.
Stop doing that.
All right,
Can you
Papa
just help me
John.
out? I can't see it.
Papa John.
Am I blind?
At the very bottom.
Down at the bottom left, Papa John.
Okay. Thank you.
There he is. So that is going to be the 3rd pick for Hammy locked on in, Papa John. So talk to me about why he's a good captain.
Roster players.
Papa John has obviously proven himself on the Ferox roster as the captain, making great plays. He has a great YouTube channel. So yeah, it's awesome. He actually has vlogs. You should probably go subscribe to him right now. PBJ vlogs on YouTube. There's a quick little
Follow me on Twitter too. You're at it.
All right, well, Shaded, you are on the clock. I'm not even sure what to respond to.
I don't know if this is on.
Let's take a look at Papa John's stats, because at least they'll tell me the truth. And they'll tell me what role he actually wants to play. It's typically jungle, not captain, for any of you guys that missed the sarcasm. The only player, though, to have Yates as his most played hero in solo queue, which you got to respect the grind. He's not been out that long.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously one of the best support Yateses in the game. Super consistent, obviously, got that 60% win rate. So you're almost mathematically certain to win.
But I'm the best, right? Because I pulled you twice. One on the turret for first blood.
Anyways, like I was saying, that I don't know who this is, but you know, Yates, that's his pick. You know, he's just a beast with it.
All right, let's go to the other side of the table. So, Araki, you've been listening to Hammy with the rest of us for the last couple of minutes. What do you make of the picks for Gatsby and Papa John?
What roles are they going to play? Is that what you're asking?
Like, what do you think of his decision?
I think they're really good picks. I think his draft so far as a team is pretty good. I mean, he has starting all over in mid and then Gatsby in top. Two really solid players, proven in the previous weekends. So I'm curious where he's going to play. I'm kind of leaning towards him playing jungle more than bot, but he could also play bot. I don't really know.
I'm pretty sure he's going to play bottom.
You think so? So, I mean, if he does that...
obviously uneducated.
Right, I mean, I don't know why I said that. Actually, he has Papa John over there, so Papa John's definitely going to play jungle.
If he plays captain, I'm going to smack him. So.
You're right. You're better.
So, yeah. No, his team is pretty solid. Him and Shaded, I would say so far, are probably the two best teams right now, rosters-wise.
Even over your own.
So far, yeah, I would say so. I would say so.
Helping to motivate the team there.
I think that's the first time that one of the captains has been like, yeah, no, my team's not the best one.
Trash.
It's kind of funny because like Araki Zoro is bringing almost a different level of analysis, and I think part of that goes back to the fact that something we haven't actually talked about is Araki Zoro used to be on the analyst desk with us, and it's kind of funny like because after everyone's pick, he's like breaking it down just like we would. It's like he's just taking over for us. It's actually been pretty nice, being like, okay, let Araki Zoro break this one down instead. But do you think that kind of having that experience of being on the analyst desk and getting to see things from that perspective?
I was hoping so. I was hoping it would help me a lot here. I was hoping it would give me an advantage. But honestly, if there were, just because of the roster players, and I think this, it's just fantastic. But if there were more, top tier players competitively, it would have been more balanced out because we would have all had really good players. But it's not exactly that way. So we're making our choices. We're gonna play with our the players we're picking. So we're gonna have to make the best out of it. And I am happy with my team. Don't get me wrong, because Max Rain, I played with him a lot. Lulu is a great bot laner, as I said. So I was hoping it would give me a great a huge edge just having that experience, but it's not exactly working out that way.
Well, we're only 2 picks in for you, so
yeah.
There is still time. There is still time.
Besides, I have the best player ever, which is myself on the team. So
Okay, buddy.
All right.
So I got that going.
I could see you're looking deeply at the list there, Shaded. We could take a bit of a recap of the guys that you've locked in so far. Dienzio and Mixi. What roles? I'm assuming you're going to put yourself in that captain role. I'm assuming these guys are going to be mid and bottom.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
So what are you looking towards next?
I'm thinking more towards, I don't know if I want to take a jungle or top, because that's all I need right now. I'm not really sure which one's priority for me. There's a lot of options left, and I feel like a lot of these options are around the same, level, I guess. So I'm thinking maybe I just prioritize the best top laner, and then I can just do a blind pick of the last for jungle.
Blind pick.
in a way, you're like, this one will be good, which one? But
Now with the first top 8 already gone, the next 3 are all players that you are either were very recently on the team with, but so
Hang on,
just that.
before this question, you got 25 seconds, so let's just get this locked in before we go delving.
Okay, I'm gonna just stick with it. Best top laner. I'm gonna go with Neon Fire here.
All right, Neon Fire going to be locked in. That's your 3rd pick there.
boy.
which means now Araki Zoro, you're going
Makes
to
it
be
so
on the
tough.
clock once
This makes
again.
it so tough.
You're in trouble.
I am, and you're after me, so.
He's on your tail, dude.
So, Bacon, you were just asking about Neil.
Yeah, I was asking, with TiVo, PvP Warrior, Neon Fire, you have experience with playing with all of them. Does that influence kind of where you want to go, having that experience?
What they selected, it's kind of like iffy. Like PvP, just he hasn't been around a lot lately, so I don't really know where he's at. I'm friends with him, of course, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to win. So if I don't know where their skill level is at, it's a risk taking. So I'm gonna avoid taking risk. Do solid picks. Tiva, I'm not really sure. He highlighted top, and there's no way he's had time to practice top. So Neon's been playing top for a while, so I just had to pick Neon here.
Makes a lot of sense, and obviously Neon Fire, we've got some stats for him as well. You can see what he's been up to in the ranked queues, and has been playing a bit of Vox, but obviously that currently is generally a mid laner pick. So obviously, has in competitive events, has been playing a few different heroes across the board.
Yeah, and obviously that's his most played in solo queue as well. So we can see when he was playing Ardent last weekend, had a phenomenal gauntlet during this team fight. And, it's moments like that that can separate a win from a loss. And in such a short round robin, that can really be the difference maker for the entire tournament.
Yeah, I mean, you pick up 2 wins in the round robin, and you virtually have guaranteed yourself a spot in the finals. So there's not much room for error. So being able to make those big plays that can change the tide of a game is crucial.
Yeah, it certainly is. I couldn't have said it better myself. Well, Araki Zoro, you've got 3 minutes left on the clock right now.
Yeah.
We've already gone through our top 8 players. They have already been selected, and now we're starting to get to a point where some of these names, especially lower down the list, are less known players. We've got some guys from the very top of solo queue stepping on in this week. Is there a conversation about going for one of these players that maybe is less known but could have a huge impact on the game just from that solo queue style of play?
Not for me, not too much. The only player is Level because he's kind of the next best jungler on the list, if you really look at it. So for me, it's either between him right now or going for someone like TiVo. TiVo, just because he has listed himself as a top laner, it's not something that he's been playing traditionally, but or has played traditionally. But if he's confident in it, then you gotta give him some credit. You gotta trust him in that sense. So yeah, I'm thinking between Level and TiVo right now.
All right,
So now
deciding.
you've played recently, have been playing a bit of the jungle role as well, but you historically are known as a laner. So does that kind of factor in? Are you planning on playing a specific role and drafting around that, or are you just kind of drafting and then going to fill yourself into whatever role is needed?
Kind of what I was going with is like I'm gonna try to get the best players available and then put myself into the roster just to fill out because I played mid for a lot of 5v5s, especially on Slimy Salamanders. Bot is something that I'm very confident playing as well because of the hero pool. So Vanilla, Kinetic, Vox, all these heroes that I've played and just really excel at, and it's in the sense that I can start step very well, all that mechanic stuff. Yeah. And then the jungle is something that I played in WESG. But at this point, because Lulu Gio is going to be my bot laner, most likely, and I have max screen already, I'm probably going to put myself in the mid. I'm looking at the clock. I have a little bit over a minute. Yeah, I'm probably going to play mid myself and going to try to go for a jungler and a top laner. It is tough. I mean, when you look at TiVo, he's definitely going to be the best top laner, but at the same time, it's because he just recently moved to the top lane. How much better is he really going to be over the reminder players? Mm-hmm. So I think I'm going to go with Level here to try and have him in the jungle.
All right, so third pick there for Araki Zoro is going to be Level, stepping on forward. So one of the boys from Hammers Esports getting drafted on in. So talk to me about Level as a jungler then, you guys. What is it that makes him stand out from the other junglers? What makes him one of these, top 3, top 4?
The only thing that makes him stand out for me is because he's competed before on a challenger level, I believe. I think he recently might have competed with Hammers. I'm not too sure, but I have a friend who has played with him before, and he thinks he's a good player. Besides that, it's just because I don't really know much about the other players.
I mean, I think Level stands out because he's 6'8". He's a he is a human giant. I mean, just having him on the team is just like
really
mentally,
tall.
I'm intimidated just thinking about him.
That's good for me.
So you know, I mean, Araki's roster right now, you know, looking pretty good. You know, outside of
Don't hold back. What's your honest opinion?
you're easily top 4. Without a doubt. Yeah, you know.
I'm looking forward to seeing what you bring to the table yourself. I want to like. I think this is a point where like you're making a name because a lot of people were giving you smack, or just like you weren't picked last week. So I'm personally interested to see what you bring.
I mean, we'll see. I wouldn't say it's a case where, yeah, I agree with you. I hope I can bring, you know, especially on the front of shot calling and like just leading the team. Hopefully, we'll be able to make it work.
All right. Well, height isn't listed, but the rest of his stats are going to be here for Level in awe of the absolute unit. But Glaive, most played hero in solo queue, not something that's really been picked pretty much at all during the VPL Fantasy All-Stars. Could that be a pocket pick that comes out, or is that just...
It's something that we played in WESG actually, in Canada, given that we didn't have the best competition. But yeah,
Anything's viable, too.
it's kind of a good pick. It's a little bit hidden, but not really anymore since the meta has developed building Crucible into Fountain for jungle.
All right. So Outplayed, you are on the clock. Obviously, now you've had to wait a little bit. And it's kind of the blessing and the curse of being on the end of the draft. So, what have you been kind of thinking about while it's gone, you know, down the line and back?
Well, I get 2 picks here, right?
Yep.
Okay, so, all right, that is a bit of a relief.
Weight off your mind.
It's a little bit tough at this point. I know, like Araki was mentioning, there's just there's not an enormous amount of players with lots of past competitive experience. So I just have to go with what I think is going to be like the strongest for my team. As far as like the roles I need left, I need a mid laner and I need a support. So yeah, I'm looking at.
I would say you're in the most rough spot because
No, like Hammer's
have a
complaining
top
about.
laner.
I think what he made himself in a rough spot by
Yeah,
picking top and jungle.
yeah.
first.
What do you think I should have picked?
Made him bot.
yeah,
But
pretty
they're-
much.
it's obvious
play
mid
bot.
laners were
You're gonna
left.
play bot. You're gonna play bot yourself.
Yeah.
Not a good idea.
Not again.
If I was in your shoes, I would bench myself. Just gonna jump.
All right, buddy.
Jeez.
You're in a rough spot. You're in a rough
Let's have a
spot.
bit of a recap of this roster as well. We've got Pekko and Kaz locked on in. Obviously, you said you're going to send yourself to that bottom lane. So if you do focus on the mid lane,
What's funny?
Why was that?
Just thinking about his bot lane. He must be so demoralized
So
right now.
who's available right now of potential mid laners?
I know Rock Bomber plays at mid Varia, right? Rock Bomber plays mid Varia. I think he's done that in the past couple of weeks.
I
So
think Toph's been playing a bunch of mid as well.
yeah, I know Toph also plays mid. I think he listed himself as a roam also. So.
Tivo was playing mid before deciding to move to top. Maybe you could convince him to go back to mid.
That is true. Yeah,
That could be an option.
Yeah.
but he wants to play. He listed himself as top, but I don't know.
I mean, you're the captain.
Yeah,
you get to
you-
choose
you
where they
tell him
play.
what to do.
Actually, I shouldn't have told you that. I
I'll
want to
whip
pick
him
him
into
now. I
shape.
shouldn't have told you that.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea.
Stop talking, Araki.
Well, you have less than a minute, so you can lock in your first of 2 picks if you're ready.
Don't give your opponents ideas.
I'm gonna go with Toph, just for the support for the roam position.
All right, lost by Toph.
Yeah, you don't have a
You locked him
support.
in. So that's the 3rd pick there for Outplayed. So in a moment, you're going to be back on the clock once again. So keep looking at that list. Before we do jump on back into that list, though, we're going to have a quick word from Razor. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with round 4 of the draft in just a moment. All right, we're heading into round 4 of the draft, but you guys at home can still watch and win the whole time. You can watch and win tomorrow as well. There's 25,000 ice every weekend being given away, $500 and a bunch of Vainglory merch as well. And we're actually going to be giving away some of that Vainglory merch right now. So head over to that Twitch chat if you are watching. Make sure to get involved in the competitions. We're giving away some, I think, some tote bags, some t-shirts, there's minion plushies, all kinds of good stuff. So make sure you're getting involved in these competitions now. Outplayed is currently still on the clock. He's the one that's perusing that list. But I'm going to pass it over to Tasty Baker once again, who's standing by in the Tri-Studio with Shaded Talent.
All right, we're here with Shaded Talent, and now we just heard you talking about Outplayed, how he should have drafted a mid laner and a bot laner as his first picks. We've had a few captains on as captains, and they haven't really fared that well. Gabe Vizzle, obviously the most kind of notorious one of that. Do you think that actually does give you a disadvantage because you now don't have a mid or a bot laner as your kind of default pick of yourself?
No, I think I ended up with a successful draft. I also have a different playstyle than Gabe. I think he excels in supporting really good players, regardless. Like his blocks is probably the best in the game, right? I feel like as a mechanical player, I'm more sweaty than him. I'm looking for more plays. I think he's very good at supporting the top tier players, whereas I take captain and I make it a top tier role.
All right, so a lot of confidence then coming in with you and now paired up with D'Enzio. There's kind of been this rivalry with Vision and Tribe and TSM and Tribe. Does that kind of factor into anything, or are you guys just able to move past that and just play together?
Yeah, no, I don't think it has any impact on it. I'm hoping me and D'Enzio can just run it through and just take all the wins.
All right, cool. So I want to go back to actually something that we saw on your stat board at the very start of the show. We didn't really get to touch on it. You're fluent in sign language. So how did that come about?
So my parents are deaf. So when I grew up, I used sign. I was the youngest of 4, so sometimes my older siblings would interpret a little bit for me until I started learning more sign because I was the youngest. I would rely on them sometimes. So I wasn't as fluent as my other siblings, but just as time goes on, you just sign more, you get more fluent. So I'm fluent now.
And as you can see on your screen, a picture from when you were a little bit younger with your mother there. And so what was that like when you decided to become a pro player in Vainglory? Were they supportive immediately? Did it take some time? Like, how has that been for you?
They were kind of clueless that I was like they just viewed me as playing games all day, really. So I would go to I lived in the country when I was playing Vainglory. I lived in the country, very bad internet at my house. So I would go to like this local it was like a store, like they sold like subs and just like chips,
a deli.
Like a deli type thing. And I would use their Wi-Fi, and I would be there in the morning until they closed. And I was only playing Vainglory at the store, and I made a name for myself while just playing at a store, not even my own internet.
Yeah,
so
that's pretty crazy. We'll see if you can have success on the Rise tomorrow. But for now, we're going to send it back over to Joe to get the next round of the draft underway.
Very much, Bacon. Yeah, we are back here at the studio, and right now there's 1 minute and 10 seconds on the clock for Outplayed. So starting to run out of time on this pick. Let's take a look at our top remaining players as you peruse this list. You've got TiVo and PvP Warrior still there. You've got less than a minute Outplayed. Where are you thinking on this one?
I know that Rock Bomber has experience playing with Yugi, so I think I'm most likely going to be going for the Rock Bomber to play the mid, and yeah, that would round out the team. So yeah, I'm thinking probably Rock Bomber over TiVo, just because I know that he has experience with the other players.
So going for that synergy, that's going to be Rock Bomber taken off the board there, locked in for your 4th pick, which starts off our 4th round here in the draft. That is going to be a full roster now. You just have a substitute position remaining, which means Araki Zoro, you're going to be on the clock once again. Now, Rock Bomber, we talked about him a little bit already. Okay, somewhat of a one-trick, loves the Varya, also loves the Rona as well, known for that pickup as well. Is it a risk going for someone that has a small hero pool like that?
I think partially. I think if they were to ban one of his one tricks, we could be in a little bit of trouble. But I trust him as a player. I've known him for a while. I know he's mechanically skilled. So I think if they do end up like banning the Varian draft or something, we may be able to get a stronger draft because of it. So I feel okay picking Rock Bomber here.
Well,
Okay.
fun fact, his most played hero in solo queue is actually Samuel, not Varya or Ren. So maybe there's both this player that meets the eye.
Yeah, I mean, well, he also, if you go back to the preseason, he was playing top lane instead of mid lane, and was playing a lot of the Kensei as well. But the one thing about Rock Bomber that kind of stood out in the preseason and the Summer Open is he's a player that could struggle very heavily early on and then come back into the late game. Is that something that you took into account, or are you guys going to be kind of knowing that is a potential weakness?
I think we just are going to try to look to play towards the later stages of the game. And I needed that strong mid laner to carry me through that. So yeah, definitely. I think Rock Bomber can do that.
All right, well, while Araki is on the clock perusing the options available, we actually spoke to one of the players that is new to the list this weekend, Nico Fury, coming on into this week on why she thought she should be a pick coming on into the draft.
Hi everyone, some of you may know me from the fan art that I draw, but I have also played Vainglory for a while now, so I feel like I'm pretty decent at it. But I'd be super, super excited if I was drafted into playing. And who knows, I might even draw a free commission of one of your favorite characters.
Well, Nico Fury, known in the community for her fan art, now trying to step in as a competitive player as well. She's VG Silver, so definitely has been proving herself in solo queue. But you heard at the end of that video saying that there's maybe a free commission for a captain that picks her. Do we take bribes here at the Fantasy All-Stars?
110%. Yeah.
So it's like a free drawing, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. She didn't specify super detail.
I mean, I think that's something you can take into account. I've actually heard, from Chuck saying that she's actually a super good support. So, that's actually might be a pick that I might consider.
Well,
'cause
Gaspi's saying in Twitch chat, please pick her. So
Hey, you never know. I really need a bot laner, so she might fill that role.
And actually, one of the interesting things about Nico Fury is if you go on and look at the stats on VG Pro, you go to the leaderboards, she has the highest KDA of any player in the top 50 in all of North America. So definitely, even though it's not a player that a lot of people will know from competitive, there's definitely some strengths there, at least in the solo queue. And that's, Lulu Zhu is one of the top players because of his solo queue performances. So maybe there is definitely something there.
yeah, I mean, certainly, like everyone on this list has proven themselves at least in solo queue. Everyone is, at least vainglorious here. So we could take a look at her stats as well. She is a captain main, loves that Arden. Only ranked 22 on the list, but 2,700 elo is certainly not something to sniff at there. So, and that 5.38 KDA. Definitely a terrifying statistic to go up against. You do see often quite high KDA numbers for the captains.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, we'll see if any of you guys do opt to go
Yeah,
for that one. But you have
true.
just about a minute and 20 seconds on the clock. Oh,
yeah.
For Araki, are you
For
planning to put Max top, or are you gonna keep him support?
None of your business.
You about to pick?
What do you mean? None of your business.
Oh my god!
I mean, it's my I'm gonna catch you off guard. So, what I'm thinking right now, TiVo is still open, and I mean, pretty much. I'm looking for a top laner because I'm gonna play max screen and support. That's what we played. That's what we played in WSG. I played mid, he played support, so we kind of have good synergy there already. I was just getting shaded. Don't. But yeah,
God, just be like that. No,
I'm thinking TiVo right now. So
well, you have less than a minute left, so you can lock in if you're ready.
it's either him or B17. The other reason why I would consider B17 is because I believe he was on Hammers as well, like level. So they must have some experience playing together there. But yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna lock in TiVo and have him do his thing in the top lane.
All right, so TiVo going to be the fourth lock-in there for Araki Zoro, which means we are halfway through round 4 now in the draft. That means Shaded Talent, you're going to be on the clock once again. So start considering your options. Is that going to hurt having TiVo taken off the list?
no, because I'm just looking for a jungler. So Yeah, just a jungle. He doesn't play jungle. The only thing I can do is do takeaway picks from Hammy, take away like a captain or something. Cause he's not gonna play captain.
We got a vast array of quality captains up for grabs.
That's what I'm thinking. Is there is a selection of captains.
He took that.
See Ninja Bro right here? Right there.
Ninja Bro's pretty. You might have to take him, because for these big plays I'm about to do.
Oh God, no.
I mean, at the end of the day, while people like Ninja Bro may not have made their names just yet, like opportunities
One
like
of these
this
days,
are
Ninja
how
Bro's
they
just
could
gonna
make them.
obliterate you, bro.
I don't care.
Oh, okay, buddy.
I've already been obliterated so many times with all these second places that at this point, I'm mentally prepared for any defeat.
Ninja Bro's gonna be the next Chuck. Just wait.
That's not a good thing. But anyways, back to you, Bacon.
It's not even your pick. We're focusing on Shaded here right now with where you're thinking. And, obviously, one of the things that becomes a trend as we get later in the stage of the draft is, how much you know about the solo queue players. And obviously, not really any of the big name junglers left. Do you know any of these players as junglers? And is that, or are you just kind of flying by the seat of your pants here?
That's what I was kind of saying. I could do a blind pick, close my eyes, pick a number, type like that, because I don't really know. I really don't know. That's all I can say. I really don't know. Most of these aren't really junglers anymore. They're just top, mid, captain. So do I pick a top and just put him in the jungle? Do I to try to take away something from Hammy, or do I just be like, okay, they're all equal in skill. Don't take a captain. Take someone mechanically good, like a mid laner, and then put him in the jungle. Maybe mechanically he's good in the jungle. I really don't know.
Wait, so why are you targeting me though?
I think for me, your rosters stacks up
The best?
Probably the best.
the best against me, or because
I mean, we have Gatsby, so you could.
true, Gatsby's a god. I don't know what I'm gonna do about that.
So you're gonna ruin him. You should ruin him.
There's you can't ruin a team when I have Gatsby already.
Well,
it's like
that's not the problem.
It's already set in
I
stone.
was thinking about ruining him, but I can't. There's too many captains left. There's too many captains of the same level left. There's
He's
Lost
already
Boy,
ruined.
Deceived,
Captain's not even.
and then if
No,
people-
I pick Lost Boy. Calm down.
Yeah, Lost Boy's
Oh,
off the
Lost Boy-
table, buddy.
okay, can
Off
you
the
just-
table.
You still have Deceived, and I would put Deceived on the same level as Lost Boy. No offense, Lost Boy. But
Oh shoot! Yo, shots fired, dude.
Lost Boy, I don't think that.
Oh,
I don't
man.
think that. Jeez.
and then you said your team already wants Nico Fury. There's Scats, we were saying that, and the thing. So it doesn't even matter if I take Deceived because they want someone else already.
I mean, we need a bot laner.
You're gonna bot. Stop it.
You don't know that.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
I've been grinding top lane.
Okay, so who are you gonna pick for bottom then? Tell me who's are you gonna Ninja Bro?
We got Bidrak. You got Fez. PvP Warrior.
Oh, PvP Warrior. That's true.
Yeah, I got a lot of options. Unlike
So
you.
you're saying you'd rather play?
You know the last person that tried to target someone lost? Remember Gabe? He tried to target.
Gabe.
Picking you.
Gabe is not me. Okay, Gabe is not me.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying facts right
Gabe
now,
is
dog.
not me.
What are you trying to say?
It's getting heated over on that side of the table.
They're just going at it.
I think he's just getting a little bit emotional, but I'm perfectly calm.
No, I'm good. I'm good. How much
Anyways,
time is left?
You got about a minute and a half, but
I thought you were going to continue your You've got. We're about ready for your pick if you're ready to lock in Shaded.
So, big moves. I'm going for that commission. I'm gonna take Nico Fury.
Okay.
I'm gonna take commission,
Fury.
and then take away what his team wants. So I already know what to expect from the seed one. From what I heard, Nico Fury could be super good as captain. Take away the unexpected. So
Alright.
I already know what to expect from the seed one. If you want to see one, go ahead. I know what to expect. I know nothing about Nico Fury, so I think it's a safe play to do, and I get something out of it, right?
cool. Anyways, my pick is next.
All right, so Nico Fury going to be locked in. That means Hammy, you're on the clock once again. We can have another look over at Nico
Can I
Fury's
take a phone call?
stats
Is
as
that
well,
iPhone?
because as you mentioned earlier, Tasty Bacon, statistically in solo queue, a very strong player, very high KDA.
yeah, very high KDA. Again, 2,700 ELO is one of the higher numbers in there as well. I believe it's actually top 20 in all of North America for the individual ELO ranking, but that KDA is through the roof as well when you factor in even further games than what are shown on the the basic VG Pro stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously a community artist as well.
Yeah.
So Shaded looking for a commission there, hoping to grab.
I'll take any art.
It's
Honestly.
reasonable. It's what she said. It's what she said in her phone
Wow.
as well. You
That's
can see
some
some
good
of her art being displayed on the screen
Like,
there. as
especially
well.
if she can sign it, like, put like Cookie's name on it, I'll give that right to Cookie.
Okay.
Ultimate gift.
Okay, back to this
Don't hate
again.
the
That's
love.
adorable.
Don't hate the
That's
love.
adorable. Well, so you guys, what do you make of this Nico Fury pick then? Do you agree with that as a pick? Is that a correct reason to pick a player?
I honestly don't think it matters what Shaded picks at this point. He could have picked, Gatsby. If there was 2 Gatsbys, he could have taken him. He would have lost. It doesn't matter.
Oh,
Shaded's
okay.
roster is just, not looking too hot.
Why is that?
Obviously, if you look at a Neon Fire, he's probably top 10 top laner in North America. That's pushing it. So I think he's gonna get exploited by my next. I need to pick a bot laner, so he's gonna get exploited by
You're
the bot
playing
laner.
bottom, Hammy. Stop it. You are playing bottom.
It's
That's
my
a-
fault. I started that.
I'm almost certain that I'm possibly not gonna play bottom.
Okay, buddy.
Yeah,
We'll see.
yeah,
He's gonna be the sub.
yeah. How do you know that? You're not on my level, buddy.
Well, you've been flaming a lot today, Hammy. Are you doing okay? Is everything okay?
I'm
back
a
up?
bit emotional. I haven't gone this long without a hot pocket in a while.
Okay.
So I'm kind of, on edge right now. Not gonna lie.
Right. All right. Well, while you glance over the list, I'm going to check in at this side of the table once again. Outplayed. How are you feeling about how the draft's coming out so far? We're
Not
almost done
great.
with. Talk me through these rosters. Who do you think are the favorites right now?
Oh boy. Well, I think I'm definitely the favorite. After that, I would say Hammy. Hammy, I was saying in my interview, Hammy started in Gatsby. I feel like they can probably carry a game in their own right because they're all mid, top, and bot. Yeah, I think I'll stack up to him, but Hammy is definitely the best team right now.
I'm actually liking how this draft turned out because, sure, you have the big names, you have the starting, you got
Gatsby.
DNZ, you got Miko, you got Neon Fire, and, they have the big name players, but he doesn't have a very solid support. He's not going to be able to get a very solid support just off of who are left in the roster, and then he doesn't have a very solid jungler. And yeah, they're not the most important roles, but they're still pretty important. Jungler dictates rotations, and the support is super important for lane trading in mid. If you don't have a good support, you don't really get to control that lane very well, especially if you don't have a good jungler. So I'm feeling pretty confident with my roster now, because I think I can go toe-to-toe with DNZ and starting goal over in mid lane as well. So I think I'm going to hold that down. And overall, I think I'm feeling pretty confident with my roster.
I actually agree. I think Araki's probably the second best team, I think there's a pretty large gap between first and second, I'm going to be honest. But he's probably second. I think, yeah, we don't have a good support necessarily yet, but starting doesn't really need a support. I mean, he can 1v2 basically all these,
We'll see about
these
that.
people, and it's going to be pretty easy.
I'm going to smack him in lane. You'll see.
Keep telling yourself that. I don't know. I don't know about that one, to be honest.
Was that you're going to smack starting in
I'm
lane?
going to smack starting in lane.
That's child abuse.
Yeah.
Someone.
Jeez.
Chill down.
Well, there is less than a minute on the clock, Abby. So segueing as hard as I can away from that, what are you going to lock in?
Well, I do need a bot laner, so I'm actually going to go Deceived One
Okay.
as my pick.
Who is that, sorry?
Yeah.
Deceived One,
Deceived one.
the bottom right.
I mean, Deceived one's bottom.
There was
We're whispering to
oodles of
yourself with that.
confidence coming out of that pick.
Yeah, really solid player.
All right, so your captain going to be locked on in. You will be on the clock again shortly.
Yes.
Apparently, Nico Fury has actually tweeted out a picture of a love heart as well. So you've
Nice.
made Nico Fury's day picking her up Shaded. We're going to be jumping into round 5 of the draft in just a moment's time. First, let's have a quick word from Razor. All right, welcome back, everybody. Don't forget, you guys at home can watch and win all throughout the weekend. This is the last weekend of the Fantasy All-Stars, so these are going to be your last opportunities. 25,000 ice, $500, and some Vainglory swag every single weekend, and we're already starting to get into those final collections of prizes to give away. But right now, we're giving away $100 in the Twitch chat. Literally, $100 up for grabs. Just get in chat and you can win yourself some cash. So make sure that you guys are getting involved at home. Now, Hammy is on the clock once again as we kick off round number 5 of our draft. But before we get on into all the details of the draft, I'm going to pass it over back to Tasty Bacon, who's standing by with Araki Zoro in the Tri Studio.
All right, we're here with Araki Zoro, and of course, you've been around Vainglory for longer than anyone else out in that room. What is your experience of, how much does that kind of give you an edge when you are competing, of knowing that you have that level of experience?
I mean, as we were talking earlier, I do think it gives an advantage, but that advantage kind of dwindles away when you look at the highest level players, because all of them do understand the game very well. All of them, have a decent amount of knowledge. Yeah, you'll have a little bit more. It might come in clutch, but at the same time, it's kind of balanced out when you factor in their mechanical play as well.
And now, one of the things, last week and even into this week, a lot of guys kind of give you a hard time. A lot of it's because you weren't really playing as much. Does that kind of give you a little bit of extra motivation to want to play better and want to actually, take them down in games?
With how it's shaping up to be, and it seems like I'm most likely to be playing against the NZO in mid, it kind of does, but at the same time, it's fair enough because I haven't been playing a ton of Vainglory this year. I practiced a lot for WESG, but that was also a month ago. I mean, I'm ready and I'm confident for this weekend, but at the same time, it's like whenever they talk about, last weekend they were talking about who to pick for their teams. I think it made sense. They picked the best options that were available. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to play against the NZO.
All right. Now, one other thing I want to ask you about is, you've played all over the world. You've played in, with various levels of ping. Playing in 1 year, you played for a European team while still living here in North America. So what is that like? How much of an adjustment is it really, like going from the East Coast to the West Coast, or different continents and things like that, and just having that different disparity in the pings and things like that?
It's pretty big, honestly. It's super big. When you play from the east coast of Canada, whether you're playing on North America or whether you're playing on the European server, you always have about 100 ms ping, so it's always kind of really difficult to get in the hang of, but you get used to it. And then when you kind of travel and you play on a much better ping, it is better, but you take away what you're really used to. So it is pretty big, but at the same time, that's one of the things that I was excited about coming out here, is like I'm going to be close to the servers. I don't have that high ping, and I can actually, play what I want.
Yeah, I can say as someone who's originally from Connecticut and then moved out here, it is a very nice change. So that's all for this interview. We have one last round of the draft to go. Send it back over to Joe to get round number 5 kicked off.
Thanks very much, Tasty Bacon. So good to get a little bit of insight there behind the scenes. We're still on Hammy's final pick, though. We're on round 5 of the draft as of right now. So let's have a bit of a recap of your roster so far, Hammy. Are you happy with how this has turned out?
Yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out. I got starting in Gassy, which was kind of the cornerstone players I wanted to build, like my team around. And then we have Papa John, who's like, just plays like annoying heroes. So, and we got Deceived, he's just deceived. So, our roster, I like my roster a lot.
Yeah, we can take a look at some of the highlights from starting all over in recent weeks as well. Last weekend, obviously, had a fantastic weekend on the Lorelei. His stuns were absolutely on point, and I think a key thing to watch from this one was the synergy that the whole Team T Tigers roster had. The starting was a real cornerstone of that, so I'd imagine you're hoping to replicate that kind of success, but you do have less than a minute on the clock, so if you're ready to lock in your final pick of the draft, please be my guest.
Whew. I think I'm going to go with
It's kind of tough because
You messed with your teammates right now?
we don't
Yes, I
really,
am.
we don't really know too much about the remaining players. So it's like who really actually brings a lot of value to the team as a sub. It's kind of tough to figure out.
Okay, we're taking Fez.
Oh, bro.
Fez. All right.
That's who you want.
I was gonna pick Fez, yeah.
Oh man, Lulu
Fez
is
is a
getting
good player.
destroyed right now.
Yo, oh my God.
Did it to yourself.
I'm not gonna lie, I like your draft, Louis. It's making me feel a lot better about my position.
All right, Shaded, you're going to be on the clock right now. Hammy, talk to me about this Fez pick because you fervently looked at your phone. Is this your teammates telling you to lock in Fez?
Actually, no one really said anything because no one would know what to pick, who to pick because the options aren't. We're not looking at the best rated players. I'm gonna be honest. No shade, but just facts. So I just kind of, Fez looks like a cool name, so I picked it. That's the thought process going into that.
You can see the stats there on your screen, but the key thing here is solo queue rating of 2,800. The only player in this pool that has a higher solo queue rating is Lulu.
Yeah.
So Fez is actually very much up there in terms of, again, the individual kind of individual play of being able to constantly find himself wins. You see 80% win rate. Once again, right on the heels of Lulu, and everyone kind of gives Lulu all this praise for being this incredibly mechanical, skilled player. But there are other people like on his heels that you just don't give any credit to. So what's kind of the difference between someone like Lulu and someone like Fez?
Well, the difference is Lulu has about 4 accounts that are almost gold, and Fez has 1. So
That you
I
know of.
No, well, I think I'd notice a player that was top tier, and I haven't. But like I said, Lulu has like two or three accounts that are like 5 points away from gold, outside of his main. So that's Lulu puts in a lot more time in comparison to Fez, but Fez is still solid. So yeah.
Is Fez? There was a play. He's not Fizz, is he? F-I-Z-Z?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Different player. All right, let's have a bit of a reset here and talk about your roster so far, Shaded Talent, because you're coming up to your final pick. Talk me through this lineup, because actually, Nico Fury, obviously, you just locked her in. She was putting like a love heart in the Twitch chat. She also just won our $100 giveaway. So she's having a fantastic time. She got drafted, she won a giveaway. But talk me through this roster that you've got.
So I think I have a solid roster except for jungle. And I think that as at first, like, I'm going to just compare to Hammy because I think we're all on the consensus Hammy has the best team.
I don't know about that anymore, but sure, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to stack up against Hammy's team. I think he's solid in every role. My problem is a weak jungler. I think we stack up very well everywhere but jungle. So I'm trying to brainstorm things of what I can do. Like, I'm looking at these picks. Like, do I take someone who?
Paulie said he was a jungler, I believe, right?
I'm not familiar with Paulie. I don't really like. I'd rather take someone I know. So like, I'm looking at like number 10, number 16. I know they're mechanically sweaty, so I could test them in the jungle, see how they're doing. Or since I already have a captain, I could play jungle myself. And since it's like a Crucible Fountain meta, anyways in the jungle, I can play those heroes decently. So I could flex through the jungle fairly easily.
You could.
Think of like I could play like Tony, Flicker, Anara, all of those things I could play decently, like better.
Is Lucius a consideration? He's still on the board right now. Has won previously, has competitive experience too.
I would put PvP and Rock Bomber over Lucius.
Rock Bomber's
Rock Bomber is locked in
once
already.
again, bro.
Wait, say it. Oops. Wait, I think I crossed out the wrong name.
Literally taking.
He's acting as if he literally don't exist right now.
What's player non-existent?
Okay, buddy.
All right, well, you've got a minute and 5 seconds on the clock. So we're getting to the time where you need to finish out this roster.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead, take out someone who was a risk before, I felt like. So there's not really any good jungle options left. I'm going to go ahead with my boy PvP Warrior, see what he does in the jungle. If not, I can... Someone, sorry I broke you guys' pen, but somebody's, or I can flex the jungle, we'll see.
All right, PvP Warrior locked in there for Shaded. That is going to be his finished roster, which means Araki Zoro,
Damn.
you're going to be on the clock.
I'm
once
sad about
more.
that actually because I was gonna pick up PvP Warrior because Lulu's making me Monka ass in the chat right now. He's like, put me in sub because I don't know how my internet will turn out to be. So I was gonna pick up PvP Warrior and have him as a sub bot laner just in case. So that's no longer an option.
That's an unfortunate situation. Lulu was the one that disconnected last week for Dienzio as well. Does that, I mean, that's got to affect everything coming into tomorrow now. Surely your draft plan must have changed pretty dramatically.
With what? With what he just said?
Like before Lulu,
Oh,
before you
right.
knew Lulu was maybe going to have issues tomorrow.
Yeah, now I kind of really know he is. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm just really trying to find a bot laner that I can have him as a sub just in case he does have issues tomorrow. But I mean, the left options are not too good. But yeah, we'll have to make something work here.
Well, I mean, you said yourself that you could flex to the bottom lane as well. So we'll first take a quick look at PvP Warrior and what he's been doing in solo queue. Of course, the Sky is what is top played hero. Words are hard in solo queue, but he's made a name for kind of really unconventional picks, especially if you go back to 3v3.
Yeah.
I mean, his Gwen in 5v5 was certainly a strong
His
one.
Gwen, yeah, that he was known for it.
And Idris. He played Gwen and Idris.
His Idris was actually pretty good. His weapon Idris, he was pretty good with it.
Yeah.
Pretty good with the weapon Idris.
Just keep him off the Vox. Anyone remembers in the summer open.
The Cav solo killed him like 5 times.
That was something else. That Catherine is.
That's
Catherine's a strong solo laner. All right, go.
I don't. Whatever makes you feel better, dog. I don't know.
I'm fine. I don't mind either way. All right, let's talk about your roster so far, Araki Zoro.
Yeah.
You've actually got some individual pretty strong picks. People like Lulu Ziu, people like Max Green.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's coming together as a
I think it really came together. I think if Lulu Gio doesn't have any issues tomorrow, I think it really came together really well because Lulu Gio on level, I think they're going to be able to play well together. Like all level will have to do is go for a tanky captain, which is the meta right now. Try to babysit Lulu Gio as much as possible, get him ahead, and rotate, do his jungle thing. And then I have myself and Max Green in mid, which I think we're going to stack up against. Again, I'm going to ignore you here, Louis, because your roster, I think, is going to stack up against Dienzio and starting all over his lanes pretty well. And then I think Tivo will do just fine on his own in top lane. And then hopefully with my, me as a captain, I'll bring the team together with shot calls and drafts and whatnot.
All right.
So I think that's what I think of my roster so far.
I outplayed. What do you say?
I cannot
Just be
stand this
casually tossed aside.
I mean, I'm confident in my team.
I'm looking at his roster. It's not that bad. Like I'm looking at it, like Pico,
He has
Kaz,
Kaz.
Rock Bomber, like Rock Bomber, like 1 trick, 2 trick maybe.
Kaz will have to carry so hard.
Bro, and he has
Yeah,
Yugi,
Kaz
who's probably going to AFK. That's a
I
possibility.
think the names on your team are fine. The problem is I think they're tricks, so they're bannable. Like this isn't like competitive play, like where we need to focus.
Who other than Rock Bomber?
Pico.
Yeah.
No, Pico plays so many things in top. Pico plays like Yates.
He plays
like
no.
Reza.
He definitely he plays Reza and he play what else?
And I think either way, those two are
Exactly, pretty good.
the players that are going to have to carry your team through. And if we target ban them, then you're in deep trouble. I don't think it's possible to target ban both.
Wait, let's not forget about that. Louis is gonna be in bot lane, so he's gonna be getting.
That's the biggest
The bot lane is supposed to be the winning lane, and so if you have 2 losing lanes,
If I got Kaz helping me, we'll be smooth sailing. We'll be good.
COD doesn't make you better. You're only as good as you are.
I'll be
so
good.
The team's only as strong as the weakest link. So
that is.
You guys are tearing me apart. Jeez.
Motivational phrases. I'll be tweeting those out later on the picture of a sunset.
Hey, we'll make
I
it
was not expecting this. I was not expecting all of us to trash talk Louis, but it turned out to be fun.
How the cookie crumbles. Well, you've got less than 50 seconds, Araki.
Yeah.
If you're ready to lock in.
So I think I'm gonna lock in Lucius here because he plays both mid and bot. He was a decent player a while back when he was playing a lot of ranked. So I kind of recognize the name. He has mid and bot, so like if I need to flex myself to bot, if Lulu has issues, I'll have him play mid. If I need him to sub, so basically it gives me options. So I'm gonna go with Lucius here.
All right, Lucius locked in. That is going to round out Araki Zoro's roster, which means outplayed. The final pick of the entire draft is on your shoulders.
Wow.
Your time
Tough
starts
options
now.
here. You have so many of them, and they're all amazing.
So
Yeah.
now that we're starting to get to this point, I mean, is the Lucius pick down to uncertainty with Lulu? Like, if he can't play, if you need a replacement for bot, Lucius kind of fills in. Is that the thought process?
Yeah,
there?
I mean, like I was gonna go with a sub that gives another sort of value to the team. Like you guys have talked about in previous weeks, someone who can help with either the morale of the team, how they're feeling, or with the draft or strategy. But since I need someone who can actually sub in if necessary, that's what I'm going for. So that's kind of where Lucius comes in.
I think, wait. I think if I was in Araki shoes,
Yeah.
Tivo was actually a bot laner just until West G. So he was, the second best bot laner.
That's true.
And so you could,
I could have went for B17 and have
Yeah.
him top. That's true, yeah.
Yep. So,
These are the
I'm
last
trying to
players
respect
left on the screen.
Tivo's his wishes. He wants to top, I'll let him top.
okay.
But, I mean, if you're so confident, just beat me tomorrow.
Beat him,
I'm not
Hammy.
confident at all.
All right, you can see the remaining players at B17, Final Phase, Polyphemus, Bidrak, and Ninja Bro are the 5 that you can select between. The other 4 that aren't picked here today will be bonus substitutes for all players in case one of your players and a sub can't make it to the game somehow. I hope, for all of your sakes, that does not come to pass, but definitely 3.5 minutes left on the clock, so you've got some time.
I certainly have some time to think about it. Jeez.
Not all the time in the world will you
Yeah.
be prepared to make this pick, dude.
All right, well, while you consider that, we do have another question from Twitter, so we're going to go with that hashtag #AskThePros. And this one, you already asked this outplayed in your little interview, but were there any friends and family that actively encouraged or discouraged you from playing professional Vainglory? We'll pass this to Shaded Talent.
For me, it was just kind of like, it wasn't really recognized. Like, I just did my own thing, and then I got to a point where I can make money from this, and that's why I took it. It wasn't like I was really encouraged by my family or discouraged. If anything, maybe on like the discouragement, like why you playing time on games, all this time, but nothing major. Just it is what it is, I guess.
All right, what about you, Hammy?
So it's kind of a combination of both. So when I was coming out of high school, so I needed to get a job. So I was turning 18. So, I needed to get a job, as my parents said. I needed to earn money, start paying some rent. So, at the time, I was like, I'm not trying to work at McDonald's or something. And at the time, I was like, I want to say I was like POA during that summer in Vainglory. And so my parents kind of gave me a time, to pursue Vainglory. They're like, if you, do this if you can get to this level, make money in 3 months, you can do it. But if you're not making money, you got to quit. So, I wouldn't say that's discouraging. They gave me an opportunity.
That's actually pretty fair.
Yeah.
that's
And
fair.
so I ended up, signing with Rogue about 2 months later. And, I signed with Rogue, started making money, paying rent, and then they were all, they're my biggest fans now, so.
Love to see it.
Yep,
That's a lot better than, some other parents who
Yeah.
just,
for sure.
yeah.
I'm very thankful.
Yeah, I mean, I love that question because you get a very wide
Yeah.
variety of answers to that one. It's always an interesting one.
I'm kind of similar to Shaded. I've always been very independent, so my family never really had a say in it. Well, I guess not really, kind of it's a little bit similar. Yeah, they never had a say. And then when I started traveling, they were like, yeah, cool, you're doing that now. But before that, like, they never really got a say in what I can do it or not. It's just something I wanted to do and pursued it.
But once it all worked out, they're supportive.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice. Okay. Well, you have less than a minute on the clock outplayed, which means we're about ready for the final pick of the entire draft.
Okay, I think to round off my team, I'm going to go with Polyphemus. I don't really know who he
why
is,
him?
but I don't know. I want him more than the other 4. I'll leave it at that.
You should have picked the final phase for the final phase of the draft.
I mean, he's
And
got
so
a
you would have
we
had a
rehearsed
previous
that.
winner.
We
on
rehearsed
the
Yeah, final
team.
phase is that good luck charm for Team Old School first week.
I'm good.
All right. Well, Polyphemus played on Vegetable Juice in the Summer Open. They came top 8, I
Okay.
think. So
Wait, he what?
You
thumbs up there.
might be able to sub you. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he'll sub. Yeah. Better than me.
I'm actually curious to see how good your bottom lane is. Maybe you're actually super
I am
good.
as well. I have not seen it in a minute. So. We'll see how I stack up.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to pick this up again in a minute. That is going to be our draft completed. We're going to break it down in just a minute. First, a quick word from Razor. All right, all day long, we've been giving away prizes for you guys at home. All you have to do is watch, and you can win. We've been giving away 25,000 ice every single weekend, $500 every weekend, and Vainglory merch as well. And we're starting to run out. This is the last weekend. You've got one more giveaway happening right now, and then you got to tune in tomorrow to get some more prizes coming your way. We're giving away 5,000 ice right this second in the Twitch chat. So if you want some more skins, if you want some more good stuff, if you want a hat, make sure to head on into the Twitch chat right now. But we have our draft completed at this stage, gentlemen, which means we now kind of know where we stand. You guys, how are you feeling off the back of this draft? Because, in fact, let's talk about the matches tomorrow first. It's going to be starting things off with Team Hammy.
Yes, let's do it.
Good luck. That's all I gotta say. My God.
I'm so excited to get to see these teams go up against each other. And then, of course, we're then going to have Shaded versus Araki Zoro. And so we'll have to wait a little bit to get that Araki Zoro versus Dienzio match right off the bat. Second game of the day. We'll be getting that one underway. So it'll definitely be a lot of fun when we do get onto Sovereign's Rise tomorrow.
I mean, looking at the teams now, if I'm gonna rank them, I'm gonna say mine's first, my team's first, second Shaded, Araki, and yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, so like I'd say we play outplayed teams first, and I think if we're to lose that game, we might as well forfeit. Like that's just a sign that we should all probably quit playing Vainglory. Like
Hey,
You can't just let him.
we'll wait for tomorrow, all right?
Is that the best you can say?
I'm confident, okay?
are you?
Come on, you can-
Are you confident?
I am.
Look me in the eyes and tell me you're confident.
confident.
Yeah, you don't look very confident. I'm gonna be honest. Kind of shaking in your boots there, buddy.
We'll make it work. We will make it work.
Okay, let's move down the line. Shaded, how are you feeling about the rosters?
Like I said, the only problem with my roster is the jungle, like how we're gonna work with the jungle. But other than that, there's no worries. Yeah, it's just the jungle. That's it. So if we can, if we get like, if I'm comfortable in the jungle, if PP's comfortable in the jungle, I would say my team stacks up very well against Tammy's team. If we have someone comfortable in the jungle, if not, it's gonna like put like a handicap on us, which will be a problem. But as long as we draft right, I think it's going to be a lot with the draft. If we just get a solid draft, we're going to be able to, like, anyone could take a game off each other.
Except for outplayed. It doesn't matter what draft. It doesn't matter what draft he gets.
Well, the only thing, I think it does matter still, but I just don't know if like anyone on his team is going to be able to think about the draft for all roles. I don't really know if like anyone on your team is like going to be good at drafting. Maybe like the only one, maybe Yugi might be good at drafting, but. He's gonna know his own role, not really mid lane matchups or like anything
I think
else.
Louis' team could turn out to be quite
I think it could
surprising
be
just because
decent,
he has
yeah.
Kaz and Pekka. Like they can definitely run with a game. If they get a lead, they can run with a game. But I agree with this statement. I think the draft is gonna have to do a lot with who wins tomorrow, especially with the three of us. But yeah, besides that, I would say depending on how PvP turns out in the jungle for Shaded and how Deceive turns out in captain role for Hammy, I would either put myself like in first or second or third, depending on how those picks turn out. If they pretty much just fall off and not really show up, I think I can be in first place. But otherwise, their rosters are really strong.
I think Hammy has less of a risk just because he is starting in mid. I think if he has a subpar realm,
The thing is, starting his early game is his worst part of his gameplay. Like by
But
far.
who's going to punish him on it?
I'm gonna punish him on that.
Will you?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, good to hear. All right, outplayed. They've basically taken it in turns to talk smack.
We are.
Give me some strong words of confidence.
We're
for
the
your
underdogs.
teammates, for the
Okay,
viewers.
we're definitely the underdogs. I'm not going to deny that. But I think, as the others were saying, if we get a strong draft, I think a lot of it is dependent on Rock Bomber getting a good pick in mid, because I'm really confident in Pekko's top. Yeah, Pekko's top, and me and Kaz in the bot lane. So I think it'll just come down to the draft, end of the day. But yeah, I mean, I don't mind going in as the underdog. We'll change everybody's minds tomorrow, I guess. But yeah.
All right, well, speaking of tomorrow, let's revisit what is on the line right now. As going to be jumping into the games tomorrow morning, and there is $2,000 up for grabs Tasty Bacon, and it's winner takes all.
Yeah, that's the key. Winner takes all. So doesn't matter if you're second, third, fourth. That's basically all the same. The only thing that matters is finishing in first place so that you can get some of that prize money. But, I mean, looking at those rosters, I think it is anyone's game, even Outplayed Squad. Like, there are definitely ways where he could end up picking up victories. You know, no one has a really strong jungler except Outplayed. So it's kind of one of those situations where you can use your strengths to kind of counter out your opponent's weaknesses.
All right, any guarantees tomorrow? Anyone you're touting as a favorite here, Bacon?
I'm not going to give any guarantees. No guarantees, no sure
come
things.
on.
I do think I would say that Hammy's squad is probably the favorite, just because of having very strong both in the side lanes. But no, I definitely think this is one that could go either way.
All right, either of the four ways. Well, let's see. Any last thoughts before we close out the show for today, gentlemen? Hammy?
I don't know, just good luck to everybody, you know, except for Louis.
I'm going to kill Hammy tomorrow. I'm telling the entire team, just kill Hammy. I don't care if we win. If we win versus Chuck, that's going to be Hammy.
Okay, you know?
All right, on that note, we're going to call it there. Make sure that you tune in tomorrow when our games will be kicking off midday Pacific time. That's going to be it from us, and we will see you there for the action for week 4 of the VPL Fantasy All-Stars.